You know you're still getting a car video today because it's me, right? We're still gonna do a car video. Anyway, sorry. Uh what do we want to talk about? There was something. There's something in my mind. Oh yeah. Uh I love when people tell me about our reality. Like I have no idea. Like I'm crazy or I'm paranoid or I have mental health issues. Oof. That's been like the conversation of everyone that I've met in the last 5 to 10 years, right? In any official capacity, police officer, you should have a mental health check. People in the courtroom, the custody case I'm involved in right now, no exception there either. And I haven't even talked about my personal stuff yet. I've just been focused on the stuff that affects all of us at the moment. But yeah, where are the people who want to tell me this isn't going on? This isn't happening. Government is legitimate. Law enforcement's doing the right things and holding the right people accountable. I mean, how much more in your face can it actually be before you say, oh, maybe they don't have our best interests in mind. Maybe they weren't transparent about where the Pentagon spent all that tax money. Maybe we should look a little bit harder at the fusion centers that have been in place in every state for a long time now and what they're doing with the technology today in 2025 with 6G under the skin and bio-digital convergence and biosurveillance. Bio-digital convergence, making the person to be like a machine. Bio-digital surveillance, using the machine to see what's going on with you biologically. And that capability, or those capabilities, the range of capabilities, I think is pretty endless. I've been trying to tell you that they can tap into your thoughts. They can implant a synthetic thought. So a thought that is not your own, they can put it in there. They can read your mind. They can make you have a heart attack. They can make you shit your pants. They can make you sneeze. They can make your crotch itch or burn, right? Or any part of your body. But historically, they've, targeted genital regions on people to make them think something, to create behavior modification. And behavior modification is a huge part of this. They want everyone acting a certain way. And if you don't think that's true, go work for fucking corporate. I know a lot of you do already anyway. I did too. I worked for corporate for 10 years. It's all the same. Actually, I worked for corporate. We'll say 10. 10's probably conservative, I think. But it's all the same. And they want everyone to act the same way, to think the same way, to just fall in line. Don't question what they're doing. Because if you know what they're doing, you will oppose it with every fiber of your being. They don't want that. They don't want us to come together. They don't want you to know what they're doing. They don't want you to look. They don't want you to ask questions. They don't want you to think for yourself. You will shut the fuck up. You will pay taxes to pedophiles. You will get in line, or you will get arrested or murdered, like Dr. Robert Duncan, right? I mean, there's a lot of well, we don't know that Dr. Robert Duncan was murdered. Charlie Kirk, maybe a better example. JFK, whoever you want to pick out from our history, who has been Seth Rich, who has been silenced for getting closer to the truth. They don't want it. They don't want you to understand how powerful you are, and they definitely don't want you to understand what they've been doing, what they are doing, and what they are planning to do. So let's get over our egos, because this isn't even about us. We're already, I won't speak for y'all, I'm already an older person, and I'm not that old, right? So this isn't about us. This is about the future, if there is to be a future for anyone. None of us grew up like this. None of us approve of the lack of transparency, lack of responsibility, no accountability. No one approves of that. That's not okay. So maybe we just need to have a very basic retarded conversation with the powers that be and tell them how we feel, because everyone's in agreement on this. It's not even up for debate. Every one of you people out there, we're all together on this. I guarantee it. And if you're not, then you're part of the club. And if you are not part of the club, then you are uninformed and uneducated about the ongoings that have been going on. And that's okay, right? Meet people where they're at. It's not okay in the sense that we're all in this together, and the retards are not going to fuck this up for all of humanity, because that would be retarded. That's probably why we have been given this time to figure it out. Would be my guess. I have no idea. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot. But they need to be addressed at a minimum. It's just egregious. It's egregious, and it's insulting to our intelligence for them to think that they could operate in such a fashion. But I guess when nobody's stopping you and you hold not the whole deck, but enough cards, and apparently enough, you have enough manpower worldwide. But regardless, this is all a positive thing in my opinion, because people are waking up by the boatload, right? People are coming to terms with what it is, and we will have the conversation. I said that years ago. We will have the conversation. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're paranoid. Go take your meds, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Fuck you. But we're still going to have the conversation. So you can pretend that we're not going to, but I promise you we will have the conversation. All of us here on Earth. They could cut the communication, right? They could blow it all up. They could right, just stop us from talking, pull the plug on the internet, whatever. But all these things are an admission of guilt. All they can do is lie and hide. Behavior is fascinating to me. I'm a poker player. I like to play poker because human behavior is incredibly fascinating. The reasons why people do things is fascinating to me. Sandy Hook I think that was 2012. I couldn't wrap my head around that. How could someone murder children? I couldn't process that. Well, come to find out, looks like the whole thing was probably a government fucking psyop anyway. I think there's a lot of things that you can look at and just say, wow, that doesn't make sense, and ask why. And usually I think most people's behavior is explainable. None of us are perfect. I promise you I'm not perfect. I promise you I make mistakes every single day. And that's okay. But if you look at the behaviors, there's usually a reason behind the behavior, whatever it is. And then there's other stuff that kind of makes you scratch your head. And for me, Sandy Hook was one of those things I couldn't process. I couldn't rationalize it. Didn't make sense to me. Come to find out, it's probably a Fed operation. And with with a lot of the stuff the government does, I think a big turning point for our country was 9/11. Not the incident itself, but the reason why it happened was to install the Patriot Act, so that the government could legally spy on its own citizens, but it's so much deeper than that because of the science behind what they've been doing with the biosurveillance, right? They literally sifted through feces to collect our DNA. I suspect, I don't know this, right? I don't know anything. I suspect that COVID, when they were jamming shit up people's noses, could have been to procure something that's usable for creating the next thing, right? Maybe they needed samples of whatever. I don't know. Just think when we look at behavior of government and behavior of, you could say corporations. I don't think there's really a line between government and corporations, law enforcement. I mean, anyone who's just in line doing the thing, I think there are metrics. I think there are goals, clear goals and agendas. Clearly they have a goal with healthcare, or it's not even healthcare. They're bringing it in under the guise of healthcare so they can control us completely with our consent. You will be like, yeah, this is great. Look at, they're helping us. They're keeping us healthy. They can cure cancer in 48 hours and everyone's going to be great. And we don't have to work anymore because we have UBI, right? And I can stay home. I can work if I want to, but I don't have to. Government's taking care of me and I'm safe. And you're going to love it, right? But what they really are doing, I mean, they could be doing some of that. Like, but does that outweigh, does the benefit really outweigh the negative, in the sense that they are monitoring everyone 24/7 under the skin and you can no longer have a private thought? You can't go anywhere without being tracked or without them knowing who you're with. None of your data is private. It's all going to be ushered in under the pretense, as they always do, this is just the pattern, of security, health, and safety. And anyone who opposes it is a domestic terrorist, national security threat. And it's not just the way they're describing it. I think that there's a lot of negative applications of the technology. It's way too much control. If they can manipulate the central nervous system remotely with a button, I mean, just think about who we're talking about here. It's nonsense. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely insanity. Like totally, totally insane. There's no reasonable world or place in this world where someone would think it's okay for the government to have complete control and autonomy over the central nervous systems of 8 billion people. That's fucking insane, right? But I have mental health issues, so please come talk to me about that. Thanks, bye.